From Neural Newscast, I'm Daniel Brooks.
And I'm Elise Moreau.
Yesterday's State of the Union address saw a dramatic breakdown in congressional decorum during a record-breaking speech from President Donald Trump. We are looking at the verbal clashes between the president and Representatives Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. The evening was marked by unprecedented interruptions that highlighted the deepening divide in the Capitol.
We will also cover the symbolic protests involving the Epstein files and the People's State of the Union, held on the National Mall. Dozens of Democrats chose to boycott the House chamber entirely. They cited tensions over immigration policy as the situation reached a boiling point ahead of the November elections.
The atmosphere inside the House chamber was combustible from the very start of the evening. Before the president even began his address, Representative Al Green of Texas was escorted out for the second year in a row. Security moved in after he displayed a sign to the room.
The sign referenced a controversial video shared by the president earlier this month. That video included racist depictions of former President Barack Obama. While the ejection of Representative Green set an early tone of tension, the most significant disruptions occurred much later during the president's remarks on immigration.
Democrats had originally intended to maintain a strategy of stony silence during the address. However, that plan collapsed as the speech progressed into its second hour. Representatives Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib began shouting at the president from the floor. They directly challenged his characterization of the Somali community in Minnesota as pirates.
The verbal confrontation reached its peak when Omar and Tlaib yelled that the president had killed Americans. They were referring to the fatal shootings of Renee and Alex Pretti. Both were U.S. citizens killed by federal immigration agents in Minneapolis just last month. The heckling brought the speech to a temporary standstill.
President Trump did not acknowledge those specific killings. Instead, he focused on the murder of 16-year-old Lisbeth Medina by an undocumented immigrant. He told the chamber that Democrats should be ashamed for refusing to applaud his declaration that the government's primary duty is to protect its citizens.
Trump retorted to the heckling by calling the Democratic lawmakers crazy. He also accused them of cheating in past elections. This exchange highlighted the total breakdown of decorum. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy later called the interruptions incredibly distracting and disrespectful to the office of the presidency.
Still, the reaction within the Democratic Party was mixed. Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi suggested the outbursts were barely noticeable in the room. She maintained that the party largely stuck to its plan of protest. However, the visual evidence of the night suggested the strategy had fractured under the pressure of the moment.
The physical absence of many lawmakers was perhaps the most striking visual of the night. Dozens of members chose to skip the address entirely. This left the Democratic side of the gallery partially empty throughout the record-breaking speech. It was a silent but powerful statement against the administration's platform.
Many of those who boycotted gathered on the National Mall for a People's State of the Union event. Representative Sarah Jacobs told reporters that she preferred being with impacted communities. She said she would rather be outside than be gaslighted for 2 hours inside the House chamber.
Others attended a State of the Swamp event at the National Press Club. That event featured a rebuttal from actor Robert De Niro. The focus for these alternative gatherings remained on the administration's deportation tactics and the ongoing affordability crisis facing American families. They framed the president's policies as a direct threat to the middle class.
Inside the chamber, many who stayed wore white pins demanding the release of all government files related to Jeffrey Epstein. This was a coordinated effort by several House members. They sought to bring attention to a topic the president has explicitly asked the country to move on from during his recent campaign rallies.
Representative Tlaib even shouted a question about the Epstein files during a pause in the president's speech. This was complemented by many House Democrats inviting survivors of the convicted sex offender to sit in the gallery as their official guests. It kept the controversial topic at the forefront of the evening's subtext.
The official Democratic response was delivered by Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger from Colonial Williamsburg. She framed the Trump administration as a source of unprecedented corruption. Spanberger specifically cited recent crypto scams and the administration's cozying up to foreign billionaires as evidence of a failed leadership.
I'm Daniel Brooks.
And I'm Elise Moreau. For more in-depth reporting, visit our website. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.
Neural Newscast uses artificial intelligence in content creation, with human editorial review prior to publication. While we strive for factual, unbiased reporting, AI-assisted content may occasionally contain errors. Verify critical information with trusted sources. Learn more at neuralnewscast.com.